welcome to Campus Corridors News, where we are committed to keep you updated with factual, timely and verified news within Rongo University and Migori County at large.
On our headlines today, move to curb insecurity. University students leaders meet CS Education Amina Mohamed. Wi-Fi and upgrade of university website. Crisis of delayed transcript. Achievement of outgoing SGC. Journey of the new delegate system of election. Campus politics.
CCN with Shem Papa in tow, Alexi.
In the past few weeks, cases have been reported of Rongo University students being attacked just meters away from the school compound at night. Phoebe Joy has details on the same.
In the past few weeks, 6 cases have been reported of Rongo University students being attacked and robbed their valuables such as laptops, mobile phones and cash. Due to this, the university has taken measures to help curb insecurity.
There are measures that have been laid down to ensure that insecurity is curbed, starting with the security lights, which by the end of the installation, which is currently ongoing, 126 security lights will be erected. We also have, we've partnered with the CDF, that's under Honorable Paul Abuor. There's a police post which is being built, and I think in 2-3 months or thereabouts, the project will be done.
This being a menace in many universities, the Ministry of Education, through former CS Dr. Amina Mohamed, has drafted a proposal that will see universities being manned by police officers.
From the discussion, we deliberated with the ex-CS of Education, Amina Mohamed. There's a proposal that currently has to go under a lot of approvals, that security officers, the policemen, should be there to ensure that they man the institution. The number that we proposed was six number of police officers, which will be in all universities. And the number is subject to debate. It can be more or even less.
On 27 of February 2019, the KUSO, Kenya University Student Organization, met the former CS Education Dr. Amina Mohamed after there were complaints on the ministry move to arrest self-loan defaulters and also increase in university fees. Alphonse Bitter with the news.
After much complaints from the comrades fraternity about the move to arrest HELB defaulters and increase university fees, the former CS Education called for a consultative meeting with the university student leaders to address the matter.
Wednesday, 27 February 2019, we had a consultative meeting with the CS Education Ambassador Amina Mohamed, and this is after there was a little bit of uproar among the students and also alumni students from different universities on the issue of HELB, whereby the HELB defaulters were said to be, that they were going to be arrested just because of defaulting. And also there has been issues revolving around fee increment, and for that reason Ambassador Amina Mohamed called for a meeting with all the student leaders from different universities in this country.
The meeting was a success as the CS heed to the comrades' cry not to arrest the unemployed defaulters.
In the meeting, we tried to iron out several issues, and among them is whether those students who have defaulted to pay the loan are going to be arrested or not. And the answer that we got in that meeting is that they are not going to be arrested. And the reason why they are not going to be arrested is, one, that we've got those graduates who are already out of the universities. They used HELB loans in their studies, but as we speak, they are still tamarking and they do not have jobs. But she also indicated to us very clearly that the people who are going to be targeted are those graduates who've been out of the campus for some years and they have been working for 15, 20 or 25 years, but they have not been paying the loan.
In the past, Rongo University had no policy to save Wi-Fi users, and this saw even villagers benefiting from facilities meant for comrades. The university has therefore come up with a policy that will eliminate ghost Wi-Fi users. Phoebe Joy with the story.
To eliminate ghost Wi-Fi users, the comrades are advised to get their login passwords by visiting the ICT office.
It has been tiresome for students moving up and down the university, doing registration and seeking services from the university. For this reason, the university is installing a new UniPlus system that will ease access of services within the university.
The UniPlus system is really going to be very important because it's going to help us automate our services so that at the end of the day, students are not moving up and down to do things with the registration, to fill in possibly any form. If we are talking about the exam cards, if we are talking about units registration, these ones are things that are going to be accessed just online.
It has been a huge concern to comrades for being in school for almost 3.5 years without accessing any of their transcripts. Alphonse Bitter narrates.
As students are meant to leave for their attachment in May, it has been a big challenge to them as most of the organizations require academic transcripts, which they do not have.
We are talking about possibly third-year students who are still struggling to know their results in first year. But as we speak also, we are ensuring that possibly one of the things that needs to be done is that the results need to be taken to the external examiners in time, and also they are taken to Senate in time so that those marks are verified so that the true results. But one of the challenges that also has been faced in the 2018-2019 academic year, you remember very well, gentlemen, that at some point we had a lecturer strike that lasted for a very long time, and for that reason it meant that we've had several overlapping semesters, and the overlapping semesters I think has been brought out as one of the reasons why the marks, or rather the transcripts, are delayed. And for that reason I really want to send this message out to the entire Rongo University students, rather fraternity, and tell them that this is something that as a student leadership we are trying to fix, so that at the end of the day we deal with it once and for all, because we've had cases of whereby possibly our students who are continuing with their studies, but at the same time also they are working outside there, or when you go out to look for your attachment, possibly the organization that you are going to will be asking for you to have a transcript. So we really believe that Rongo University is a big university. Rongo University is a gold mine of knowledge, and I think moving forward this is something that we are going to fix.
After finishing one academic year term in office, the outgoing SGC leaders have a number of achievements they boast, including a huge numbers of trophies. Phoebe Joy reports.
After a historical change of guard, their one-year term elapses with the SGC having different achievements to point out, including trophies, fair sport trials, CU land allocation, fee deadline, upcoming student center, improved entertainment, among others.
Starting with sports, I think this is the regime which has produced the most number of trophies in history, and as my director sports always put it, that this one was last seen 8 years ago in Leicester. And if you go to the field, there's a new field that is currently operational. The students are using it to train. We've also had a bigger screen, and I think since we came into office, there's no single day that we've had the DSTV connection disconnected. So I think on that we really tried to improve on the sports and entertainment part of it. Then talking about the same sports, it was the first time that trials was done, so that we tried to take students out depending on how they merit as far as their talent is concerned. So that one is worth mentioning. Then We have an issue with the fee payment deadline, which has always been a cancer in most institutions. And this fee payment deadline, we tried to curb it by ensuring that we negotiate on the deadline. Yes, we accept this fee payment policy, but the policy, we really can't change them, but we can try to negotiate and bend it a little bit so that it accommodates all students. And I think since our inception into office, most students, especially even those who paid up to the very first day of exams, assuming the exam started on a Monday, even those who paid on a Monday and maybe had exams the following day, they always had the exam cards produced and they sit for those exams. Then we can talk of the tuck shop. For the first time, I think this office announced the vacancy and invited students to write in their application so that they could get the tuck shops at the CDF block. And this is a move which has really melted the hearts of so many students, and they were really excited about it, so that those students could at least find where they could attach themselves and at least get some finances or cash that will meet their daily needs. And again, we have a student center that we proposed. There was a proposal we wrote for a student center, and the proposal was either to renovate the Mabati structures that we have behind the administration block, or according to the plan of the school, we're shown where the student center was to be built, so that one is erected there. The proposal passed through the management, and I can tell you for sure that the proposal was accepted by the management. There's already a plan which was drawn by Professor Shitote, and we shared with him elaborately yesterday about the same. And the only part which is remaining is that those from the estate and central services gives him a quotation, and if the quotation, after being given the quotation, he'll present that to the management, and they'll start building the student center. It's a very simple one and nice. And he told me that the duration of building it will be in 2 or 3 months' time. They'll be through the structure. So even as I go out, those who will come can start to follow this issue of student center. And I think that one can also be pegged as one of the achievement, and it can also be pegged as one of my achievements. Then, if I don't forget, there was a promise which was made by the area MP, Honorable Paula Bua, about the promise was given to the CEO that they were to be given 1 million if in case the school could find a piece of land that they could erect a church. We followed this one, we pushed it, it went through management and to council, and so far so good. I'm glad to inform you that the land is there. The only bit which is remaining is the surveyors who will come and at least survey the land so that it can be ready for use. But as it stands, we were told that it will be just near the police post, near the road.
The outgoing SGC was the first one to be elected under the new delegate system. The journey was not easy, as it had its own ups and downs. It is the same system that saw the university have the first ever president's personal assistant. Alphonse Bitter reports.
It wasn't a walk in the park as comrades tested the delegate system of election. The system exposed aspirants to different benefits and challenges, as the executives were voted by the Congress and not all students, as it was in the old system.
Delegates system of election, it limits the number of students who participate in electing their leaders. This kind of limitation makes students feel that they are not given a chance to really vote for those whom they really feel would have really represented them well. And this is because of the fact that this type of election normally goes hand in hand with the cash. How much you're given, how much do one aspirant give to the delegate so that they are voted. So this is a challenge of which, if you don't have cash, you cannot really win this kind of election, because the numbers also matters in election. Whether somebody wins with one or so, it really matters. So assuming in a university where there are over 200 delegates who are supposed to vote for the executive, you'll find that by the time you're reaching delegate number 40, you've already forgotten even the delegate whom you met first, the delegate number 1. So that's a very big challenge, especially to those institutions which they have a large number of delegates. But again, if you come to the benefit of this type of election, you find that in all institutions where we have this kind of election, the number of post-election violence, quote unquote, in this kind of in these institutions, they have really reduced, because you find that there before, during election, you will find that so and so has been attacked, person X has been attacked by maybe the opponent. There used to be a lot of chemistry when the leaders were being voted in. So the delegate system of election, I think it has helped to reduce the number of such cases.
The same system created job opportunities as the university received the first ever president's PA who had different duties in the office of the president.
I'm Delegate, the personal assistant or the PA to Rongo University president, that is Honorable Marvin Makagiro. Rongo University, having transitioned from the election of popularity to the dual rule, got me a chance to work with the best president of Rongo University, that is Vincent Marvin, and working with him has been very good. He's a very flexible man, very understanding, and his leadership has been good. Now, one of the role of a PA is to advise the president and take up some few laws that he may give for assistance. And being the first PA, I've encountered some challenges that is criticism obvious from the student or the opposition student, and also being that you are very close to the president, so everybody wants to use you to get there to the president, which is very good, but sometimes some people can't understand that some things have to work on a procedure.
Reporting for CCN, I'm Alphonse Bitter.
As Rongo University approaches the electioneering period, different candidates have shown their interest. Phoebe Joy narrates.
As the university draws to elections, there are different requirements to be met for one to be eligible to vie. First, one must pay 100% school fees.
This issue of full payment of fees during vying, the institution was right. Since students may fail to pay fees, some may fake, they not have fees, and then they file. And after filing, they use that money to print the posters and doing campaigns. Then they will be elected. Fine. After election, what will happen? Those students do not continue with their running. Since they have no fees, they will defer. Then we will lose leaders. Leaders are elected, but they go home because they don't have money to support their running.
Kamukunjis are also no longer allowed in a move to try to minimize post-election violence and tribalism.
When they did away with the Kamukunjis, they based this on tribal classes that normally come, because the student will be based. Yaga comes from this region, Kipto comes from this region. That was one way of doing away with the Kamukunjis.
Reporting for CCN, I'm Phoebe Joy Cherob.
Thank you for watching episode 1 of Campus Corridors News, CCN. Watch out for episode 2 by subscribing to our YouTube channel. We've been your anchors,
Kipto, Alexi,
and Shem. Papa.